Hey there, baseball fans. Nathan Rohde here with Phil Haig and Shooter Hunt to do State to the Nation for PBR Texas. Phil, lots of talent coming out of the Lone Star State. Let's start at the top with a 2021 draft prospect in Josh Stewart. I saw him up to 95, and you told me that was just the trajectory for him. Everything just continued getting better over the summer and culminated with that.
Yeah, he's kind of stayed that course, kind of that, like you're saying, the upward trajectory there all through the summer, where he was really kind of a mid-upper 80s. Then you start to see upper 80s bump below 90, and then you'd see it short outings touch that 92, 93 that we had talked about even before you had seen him out there. Then all of a sudden, obviously it kind of accumulated with that one really good outing where it was up to 95 with sinking a breaking ball and strike. So, I just think it's one of those things where he's the kid that's definitely moving upwards and one to definitely follow with the draft here.
Mm-hmm. Well, lots of big arms going to have you crisscrossing the state in the spring.
Thankfully, he's actually somewhat close to me here in the Austin area, so he'll be a good one. Good one for me to see.
Convenient. So, but still in the 2021 class, we've got an uncommitted guy in Jason Hawkins, who hopefully will be finding a place to play here soon, because it sounds like with his intangibles, solid tools across the board, he definitely could land in probably a Division I program.
Yeah, no doubt. He can definitely play. He was a UH commit, decommitted recently. But he's one of those that, like you're saying, does everything really well. Catches, throws well, hits well, quality at bats. Played for a really good coach all through his high school as a traveling program. So, he understands the game. You can see kind of the gamer type in him, where kind of the tools, none of the tools necessarily just jump off the chart and say, wow, but they all play a tick up in the game as far as it's like when you don't really notice the catcher, he's doing all right back there. That's kind of him, that nothing's going to get screwed up, and he can handle a ton of really quality arms too.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
There'll definitely be a lot of shuffling around coming towards the end of this year. There's going to be a lot of changes in college baseball, so hopefully Hawkins catches on soon.
There you go. Well, speaking of quality arms, in that 2022 class, you got a 6'7" right-hander who, when you sent that name in, I took a look at the video, and man, oh man, Chase Shores, long and loose, and sounds like that velo's taken a jump since the spring.
Yeah, he's another one it's going straight upwards with his trajectory there. We actually had one of our guys, BG, out there in the spring, and it was up to 87, and it was still really raw, but you could see the loose, the whippy arm. Mm-hmm. The breaking ball is still a work in progress, but it was one of those where it spun right. So ultimately, you think it's going to turn into something, and then playing with the Banditos over the summer and into the fall, he's been up to 94, and kind of everything you saw with the body and arm, it's really starting to come into his own, and actually he's going to be I think a mega arm when it's all said and done here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when we were going through those 22 rankings, Phil, you called me out of the blue and said, whoa, we got to get this guy Chase Shores up, and that was one of the big news coming out of Texas in the fall was Chase Shores continues to make those jump. We expected him all the big Texas arms, so he just looks like the next one in line.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt.
Well, the next one in line after that might be a 2023 in Weston Moss, 6'2", up to 89 already. Downhill, spins it, athletic. I mean, that sounds like a pretty good arm you got there in Weston Moss.
So I went and saw him in the summer. I think I saw 3 pitches, and I was like, you don't really need to see much more. He's one of those guys that anyone can kind of go to the field. You see the clean arm action. The ball jumps out of the hand, then he spins a breaking ball. He plays multiple positions now. Obviously, I think at the end of the day, he'll be a pitcher, but he's athletic. He moves right. And another one of those arms that I think at the end of the day is going to keep on adding velo. And he comes from a baseball family. He had a brother that played at Rice. Okay. So he understands it a little bit as far as kind of his growth and what he needs to do. But he's definitely onwards or moving upwards with his trajectory as well. But right now he's already pretty good. So.
Well, shoot, you don't even have to be at the field. You sent me video, and it's immediate. That's a slam dunk yes.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get better. You talked about he's athletic. He can play the field, but he can also spin the baseball. Committed to Texas A&M. And not to mention, Weston Moss might be the quintessential top Texan name. That is an absolute 100 A+ name.
There you go. So, looking at that freshman class of 2024s, we got Cade, Arambide. We talked about a bunch of pitchers on here and a catcher as well. Arambide is a catcher himself, and it sounds like he's the prototypical guy you look for back there. He's already physical when he straps on that gear.
Yeah, no, it's a physical frame, right-handed hitter catcher with some juice in the bat that can already handle a lot of big arms on another Bandito, but handles really good arms already in that 24 class on that team, and they're loaded. But he does a lot of things already you like to see, kind of at a high level, and it throws you off when you see that he's 24, already committed to Florida, but does everything really, really well, makes the game look easy. Seems to understand the game too behind the dish, which obviously as a catcher is going to kind of boost him up. But his bat is also there too, so I think he's one that he's going to shine on both sides of the ball, and definitely has a bright future as we keep going down the road here.
Yeah, it really turns the barrel well. I think he's got a chance for even more power. It's really twitchy at the plate.
Yeah.
I think he's 2 in the class right now. If he was a left-handed hitter, I would give you the chance. He probably would have been the #1 player in the class. But you still can't knock him. He's at number 2. He's only getting better, which is what I love about a kid who's already so good but still has some upside. He has a chance to be real special there in Texas.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Well, there you have it, a look at PBR Texas and their state to the nation. So thank you, Phil Haig, for joining us. But as always, for Shooter Hunt and Phil Haig, I'm Nathan Rohde. This was State to the Nation. And until next time, we'll see you guys at the ballpark.